Hey everybody, I'm Jammer, and look at this! Look at the quality of this video, or maybe it looks exactly the same, but I'm playing with a new camera today, so maybe it might look better, maybe it might sound better, got like a mic going and everything, like professional setup potentially, but if it doesn't look any different, then it doesn't look any different. So anyways, again, continuing the series I've been doing lately, talking about potential games they could be showing off at E3. I only have one or two more I need to finish, including this one, so... And then, obviously, after that, I'll be concluding with a full predictions sometime next week. Probably Tuesday, I think. I'm going to put that up. Maybe Monday. I don't know what day is going to be better. But it's going to be like the full predictions for all of E3. These ones are obviously just going more game-specific. I'm just going to talk about the overall presentation there. But today, as the title states, we're going to be talking about Animal Crossing for Nintendo Switch. Now... as far as rumors, it hasn't necessarily been rumors, but more actually just people talking about how, first of all, the Switch would be perfect for Animal Crossing, but also how when Nintendo revealed, Animal Crossing Mobile last year, I believe, and initially it was supposed to come out that past year, but it didn't end up happening. It got delayed because of Mario Run. They had said that the app will have functionality that will be compatible with, I quote, future Animal Crossing software. It didn't say current, so it wasn't mentioning Amiibo Festival, Happy Home Designer, or New Leaf for that matter. They did specify that it was going to be future Animal Crossing software, and I mean that's a no-brainer. Of course, new Animal Crossing games are coming eventually, but the idea was posed that, well, okay, if this app is going to have functionality with a new Animal Crossing game, wouldn't it make sense if they came out near each other or along the same lines of each other? And now that the Animal Crossing app has been delayed to sometime this year, potentially maybe end of the summer, August, we could maybe even see a new Animal Crossing game coming to Switch. Maybe. I don't know. First thing I have to say, though, this is my #1 most wanted announcement at E3 this year. Like, straight up. Even above a Smash Bros. Nintendo Switch, even above Metroid Prime, like, literally #1. If they announce Animal Crossing on Nintendo Switch, I'll explode. That's all I want so bad for the Nintendo Switch is a new Animal Crossing game. And I have so many ideas for how they can improve the experience. Because each game, it's hard to say which one's your favorite, for example, in the series, because each game is always progressively better than the one before it. Obviously, some have more significant jumps than others, like Wild World's jump. The jump to Wild World after GameCube was significant, while Wild World to City Folk was very similar. And then, of course, the same goes for City Folk to New Leaf was a big jump. And I hope they do a really big jump here again, because and kind of break the trend of going on, off, because there's so many great, innovative ideas that this series could still potentially have and really just change everything. The reason I think we're going to see it this year at E3, is because, well, first of all, the mobile app, and, I mean, again, they could keep to the same, idea of, let's say, the app comes out, and then, 6 months down the road, the game comes out, so it could do something like that, but from my video the other day where I talked about Metroid Prime 4, we kind of were discussing and talking about how, basically the launch lineup for the rest of this year, and, what games are coming out what month, and we got, ARMS this month, June, we got July, Splatoon 2, August, Mario Raving Rabbids, or Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. September, we don't know. October, we don't know. November, 100% going to be Super Mario Odyssey. And December, supposedly going to be probably Xenoblade 2. But more than likely that might get delayed. But that is kind of the slot for that month anyways, if you want to call it that. So really the two unknowns were August and September. And we also talked about how Hyrule Fire Emblem Warriors is going to be coming out this year as well. Of course, it's going to be at E3. I'll talk about that more this coming week. And they'll obviously show a release date for that. And basically, it's going to be coming out in either August or September. So really, it's up to just kind of not August, September. It's either going to come out in September or October. So it's really just a coin flip which one they choose. They really could just go this one September and a different game or this one September and another game for October. Or that one, Fire Emblem Warriors for October and something else for... what's the other month? September! I am getting all these months mixed up. So what I think is going to happen, because Hyrule Warriors came out near the end of the summer, so I could see gosh dang it, Fire Emblem Warriors being a, end of summer title, a September title. So that really leaves October. What is going to go on in October? What game are they going to launch then? I have a good feeling it's going to be Animal Crossing. I don't want to get my hopes up, because if they don't even show it off at E3 this year, of course, I'll be very depressed. But I'll be still, I'll be excited for all the other games and stuff, don't get me wrong. But Animal Crossing is always number one. Number one. So, in theory though, like, cause, at least how they phrased Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle, saying that it's going to be a surprise reveal that was coming out really soon after E3, being the 2 months. I feel like September for Animal Crossing would be, again, a very similar surprise reveal and the game comes out so soon. So October makes a little bit more sense. The thing is, I don't know. Like, I'm going to talk about this later this weekend because I'm doing a Pikmin 4 video like this. And Pikmin 4 might slot into that slot rather than, or might fit into that slot of October or September rather than Animal Crossing. Because usually we hear Animal Crossing a little bit farther in advance than a few months. But like I've been saying countless times throughout these videos, that Nintendo's playing it really close to the chest lately, and like announcing games very shortly before they release, you know, especially going with the Nintendo Switch anyways. So could we see an Animal Crossing at E3 and release at the end of this summer? I mean, I'm hoping. I mean, I would be ecstatic if that actually happened. If it doesn't, I at least would love to see it in some form, and then they just say 2018. I would be fine with that. I obviously would want it sooner than later, but you know what? Knowing that it's coming is enough for me. Like, the only thing that's kind of giving it credit that it could be coming out this year is that mobile app. But, assuming it was supposed to, the mobile app was supposed to come out last year, I mean, and then let's say, obviously, the game would come out the following year, because the Switch didn't come out yet, you know, obviously. So, it could mean that the app could still come out this year, and then a similar thing, like, the following year the game actually comes out for Switch. Something along that. I'm not entirely certain. It's really weird. Like, we'll have to obviously wait and see. Like, they already have, like I said, a lot of games lined up for the rest of this year. They only have the 2 slots left, one of which is going to be Fire Emblem Warriors. So there's really only 1 slot left, and we don't know what month it's going to be. And, I don't know. I think it could be an Animal Crossing game. I don't want to, like, put my heart on it and say, yes, it's going to be Animal Crossing, because I don't want to get disappointed. I think more realistically, it might be Pikmin 4, because we know, it's more farther in development, for that matter. But Animal Crossing on it, oh man, please. Please. So let's talk about some of the things I would love to see in Animal Crossing Switch. First of all, the one thing I'm most excited about it is for the fact that it's just the handheld portability of the Switch, like in an Animal Crossing format. Like, one of my favorite things to do in Animal Crossing, as many others, is playing with friends. More often than most, we usually would be playing like locally, and then we'll just do it over like search for local town stuff. And I played online a few times as well. But I think that the sense of community in Animal Crossing is just, that's like one of the biggest driving points of that game, and of that series for that matter, and playing with friends. And I think just really focusing on that even more than before would be awesome. Like, the inclusion of Tortimer Island in New Leaf was a lot of fun at first. We kind of died off on it after a while. But I think the inclusion of minigames like that to give you and other people, like, more creative things to do together is really a smart and fun idea. And I'd love to see them expand upon that in a Nintendo Switch version of this game. Like, maybe new mini-games, and perhaps even public work projects you can build, and then those public works project itself become a mini-game. Like, let's say you build a racetrack or something, and now you have a mini-game where you can do kart racing or something like that, or horseback, or actually, you can't do really horseback, there's horse villagers. Something to that nature anyways, like stuff like that. And also, speaking of public works projects, I think they should really expand on that whole idea of public works projects, because I feel like the mayor concept and just building public works like projects, they were more experimental in New Leaf than they were like a true feature of the game. Like, it was a big like staple of that game, but it felt like there's still a lot of like things that could have been better implemented, like the grid system. While of course makes sense in Animal Crossing ideas and whatnot, but like placing them in the first place was so tedious. Like, you tried it, like, okay, what do I hear, Isabel? She's like, no, you can't do it here. One step over. No, you can't do it here either. It's like, oh my gosh, I really wish it was like Harvest Moon, where you just saw the you could literally just saw your map of the village, and you could just move the object across the map and see, like, turn red if you couldn't put it there, turn blue or green, whatever, where it's okay to place. And you can just, like, lay it out to how you could envision it, rather than, you know, keep talking to her back and forth until she's finally like, yeah, this is a perfect spot. It's like, well, this isn't even where I wanted it to be. And another thing, speaking of that, I would love to be able to plan stuff out well in advance. You can only have one public works project active at a time, which makes sense. If they do something similar, that'd be fine or whatever. But I would love to be able to maybe make, like, ideas, or, like, a blueprint, for example. And so at the mayor's desk, you could, like, go to a certain area and, like, put a bunch of public works projects there and just, like, play with ideas and see what you would like to make, and then set that as like a goal, you know, and then you can start chipping away, adding one piece at a time, for example. But I'd love to see like the whole thing at once, because what can kind of happen is, like, let's say you have this great idea for like the flower clock and like a couple of lampposts and stuff, and then when you finally make it, it doesn't really turn out how you like it, or maybe you just misjudged how much space you actually had, and maybe it's too close to a rock or a river, and it kind of messes up the feng shui of your design or whatever. I would love to be able to like totally plan out and like see what works, you know, and then kind of like build on that afterwards, you know. And then speaking of public works, and another public works project they have to include is, many people have mentioned this before, but is signposts. Now, in previous Animal Crossing games besides New Leaf, if a villager wanted to move into your town, there was these signposts around the village that basically signified like areas where new houses could be built. Obviously, they weren't all filled at all times when you had a full village. They were just like other places when, like, if someone moved out, a new villager could either move in that same exact spot or in these other available locations. And it was really cool that New Leaf introduced the concept of being able to move your house wherever you want. And that was really fun. I thought that was awesome. You could like, oh, I want to be by the beach, or maybe on this like cliff top by the waterfall or something, you know. And it was a lot of fun. It gave a lot of more unique like placements of like towns and such. But they also gave that ability to villagers. And those villagers, those dang villagers, were allowed to do whatever they wanted. They could move in here, move in there, and let's say you have a road, build out a nice path with these awesome bushes and trees and like canopying over, and then all of a sudden, you're walking along, all of a sudden, you hit a freaking building because a new villager moved right in the way of your path. And then now, even if it's a cool villager, someone you actually like, now it's like, well, I hate you. You freaking moved right in the middle of my freaking pathway. Now, it just ruins everything. So, I would love to see a public works project, and maybe an inexpensive one, and then you can customize maybe where you want to put them and place them and stuff like that. Maybe even be able to move them around after they're built, you know. Where it's a signpost, and it maps out an area of the size of a house, and then you can place and design where your villagers can move into. Not necessarily say, oh, this villager has to move here and this one there. I like the randomness of them being able to move wherever they want. It makes the world feel more alive, you know? But at least be able to control where they can move, because that is so not fair. When you're building something, you have a great idea for the design, and all of a sudden they move right in front of a freaking fountain, and then all of a sudden that beautiful scenic view you had is ruined. Absolutely ruined. I know maybe they might want to try to like not enable players to be able to just like build like a residential district where it's literally all houses in a row. I understand why they might want to limit players to doing that, but it's like, only a few will do it. Like, I probably won't do it. I'll probably mix and match them around. Like, they can't do that again. That's honestly what turned me off on New Leaf. I would probably be playing that game to this day, New Leaf, if they didn't have that randomization of house moving in. Because I get so far into design, all of a sudden just absolutely ruined. It was just too, that's like, honestly, the #1 change I would like to see in a Nintendo Switch or a brand new Animal Crossing game. So I really liked a lot of the things that were introduced in Happy Home Designer, but obviously it wasn't a true Animal Crossing game. It really was just all just, you know, designing with really there was no game to it. You just kind of designed a house. It's like, yeah, you did it, you know? I mean, granted, something can be argued for the original Animal Crossing games. What I did like about it is, you could theme stuff. Rather than just your house, or even like making a kitchen in your house or a restaurant, you know? I liked being able to design public buildings. Like, one of them was a restaurant you could build, or another one was like you could like design like a t-shirt shop, a grocery store, candy shop, something. Just stuff like that. I thought that was a really unique idea. There was a ton of fun like assets you could play with, like the design of the doors as you walk through different rooms in the building. You know, all these crazy new furniture items and stuff like that. And I would love to see more of that expanded in a Animal Crossing on the Nintendo Switch. Like, being able to build a public works project for, let's say, a cafe. And not just being the stock Brewster's Cafe. Maybe be able to customize it more. Maybe say, okay, this is where Brewster's bar is going to be. Let's make the stools here. But let's also play with the, design of the stage or whatever. Like, maybe perhaps certain buildings will be required, like, oh, you have to have this item, you have to have this item. Like, you have to, like, Brewster's Cafe has to have a stage and a bar and, like, at least a few stools for characters to sit in. But then you can orient it however you'd like. And, like, maybe perhaps they're, like, one single block so then you can't mess up and, like, put, like, stuff in the way of the bartender so you can't actually talk to him. Stuff that won't break the game and makes it sense, though, but at least let you able to customize the space of everything. Maybe theme it, instead of just being the boring wood of Brewster's Cafe, maybe theme it to, I don't know, like bubble gum, and it's like all pink and bubbly everywhere, or make it like candy themed. I keep thinking about candy. I'm just so hungry right now. Maybe make it like futuristic themed or something like that, where it's like metal floors and like robot butlers making like gyroids around the place and stuff like that. Like, I love the idea of being able to do that, but I want it. I don't know. I just didn't like how it was implemented in Happy Home Designer, just because that was all the game you got from it. It's like, oh, you designed it, good for you type deal. I want to be able to show off my townspeople and like play around and hang out with friends in our cafe and stuff like that. So I think it'd be a lot of fun to be able to build like fire stations and police stations, or a bank, and like be able to design the interiors of those buildings as well. I mean, granted, some of the other like Tom Nook's shop, maybe Reese and whatever his name, like Recycle, yeah, if that store comes back, maybe you can't customize that necessarily, or perhaps you can. Maybe you could change the colors of some of the building themes, for example. Like, let's say you're making your town like a Wild West themed town, so maybe you want to make all your colors of your like building stuff like a pale wood, you know? And perhaps what would be cool is, what if you could even do that for villager houses as well? I mean, you could do that in Happy Home Designer. And again, I kind of like the freedom of it being able to, the villager who moves in, be able to do whatever they want. But also it'd be kind of cool to be able to, what if you themed all of your villagers' houses to have, like, at least the exterior to match with your town theme of a western or a space station or whatever, you know. I don't want them to go too overboard with it, where you completely design the exterior, interior, and everything of your villagers' houses, just because then they don't really feel like they own that space anymore. It's more like you made it for them to live in, you know, and it doesn't feel right, you know. But I'd love to have some sort of, like, a little bit of control over it, like, maybe, like, because I know in previous games you could, like, send them furniture in the mail, and then they display it in their house. Maybe something a little bit more improved upon that, like, where you can subtly suggest your villagers to, like, kind of, I don't know, use certain types of theming in their houses, or the design of their exterior or something like that. And of course, I'd love to see more experimentation with that, and like and as far as how you lay out your house, even more expanded upon that. I don't think we need like 3 stories or anything. Honestly, I'm perfectly content with basement, upstairs, and the 3 side rooms in the main one. But that's the thing I really liked about Happy Home Designer, where you had different spaces to work out with. Like, there'd be like more rectangular buildings that were longer, and then there'd be the back room that's a kitchen that was like maybe long this way, and like had like the like hallway shapes, or maybe more unique designs like a museum, you know, instead of just the standard square space to work with. I think they can add to a lot more unique designs and other stuff. I don't know. So kind of switching gears here, let's actually talk about another thing that was incorporated with the mayor status of Animal Crossing. It was the ordinances, the town ordinances. I felt like that was the thing that was kind of stapled on right at the end, and really everyone kind of just used the beautiful town ordinance, because then you don't have to worry about as many weeds when you come back after extended periods of time, and the flowers dying and whatnot. But like all the other ones was just like make people wake up earlier or stay up later, and it's like just change your 3DS time, you know? Like that doesn't change much. Like you literally could just do that if you wanted. Like obviously if you want to do it in world and not like cheat, I guess, but it's not really cheating. It really isn't. And the other one was the economy one, which really, that didn't really do much. Yeah, you sold stuff for more, but then everything in your town cost more. So really, all that really benefited you is you got a bigger sum of money quicker, I guess, in a way, and then you could just change your ordinance back to normal and maybe be able to afford more. Or if you go to other towns, you have more money, I guess. I don't know. Like I would love to see them really expand on this idea of ordinances. Maybe even let you have more than one in effect at a time. Obviously not where you can just have them all turned on, you know. But, like, you know, be able to experiment with them more. Maybe have a little bit longer list than just those 4 to play with. Rather than, obviously, just sticking with the beautiful town ordinance. And, kind of segueing for the beautiful town thing, I've always felt like the one thing about Animal Crossing that always deterred me away from the series is the punishment for being away for too long kind of sucks. Like, I understand they want to make it realistic, like, as long as you're away from the game recognizes, oh, you've been away for a week, where'd you go? And I like that, I do like that part of the game. But, like, it gets to a point where, like, let's say I haven't played in a few months, and I'm kind of feeling like playing Animal Crossing again, but then I'm like, you know what? If I go back, someone's gonna be moved or something like that, and I don't want to have to, like, deal with that, or I don't want to, you know, because then I'll have to worry about someone new moving in and ruining everything, and, like, and then basically I just decide not to play. And I feel like that punishment level should be lowered. Just because, like, I want to be able to play Animal Crossing as much as I want without feeling, like, guilty for not playing too long and then being punished because of that. Like, the whole weed things in your town for being way too long, that's fine, I guess, you know. And then resetty, obviously, for people who reset, like, that's okay. I'm okay with that kind of stuff. But, like, I want to be able to jump in and jump out whenever I want and not be deterred in that way of villagers moving. Like, I would love it. Like, I understand that... I don't know how I want to put this. Basically, I love... villagers moving is a concept of the game that they can't get rid of. Like, I really like the... It makes it feel real. Like, your friends depart and, like, maybe you can see them later down the road. Maybe they can move to a friend's village and you can visit them there and stuff like that. But, that was one thing that the Animal Crossing series that... It was an unhealthy addiction. Because, like, if you played every single day, you could just keep people in your town forever and they'll never move away. Which a lot of people, like, do. I did that in Wild World for longer than I'd like to admit. But, I don't know. And then in New Leaf... In New Leaf, I like where they, like, ask for permission before they can move. Like, they'll come up to you and say, hey, you know, I'm thinking about moving. And then in that time, you can say, see ya, and then they're gone within a week. Or you could say, no, please stay, and then they don't leave. And speaking of it, I don't like how it's, like, unproportional, where you treat your villagers like crap, and they stay forever. Or you ignore them. Like, literally, they move in and you never talk to them again. They stay forever. But it's the ones you love and talk to a ton, they're the ones always asking to move. It's, honestly, it's because, like, it's like the friendship scale or whatever, like, when you're on your way to getting the picture from them, and, like, they're always the ones who are like, I want to move away because you like me the most, and that's obnoxious. They really should make it easier or more proportional to the villagers you don't like and don't talk to much. Those be the ones that move, not the ones you talk to a lot. I mean, I guess the emotional attachment of them moving makes it more at stake, I guess, but, man, that just drives me crazy, you know? So getting back to that, I think like, getting permission to move thing, I think that should be in effect always. Like, I don't like coming back from a long time and then someone moving that I really liked. Like, if it's someone I didn't care about, I guess it's kind of, like, whatever. But it does, in a way, okay, what I can give it credit for, it does give it a sense of realism, where it's like, I've been away for so long, some friends I used to have long ago did move away, in fact, you know. But, I don't like that. If one of my best friends in the game, you know, they move away and I didn't even have a chance to stop them, like, that's so aggravating. And again, I won't want to go back to Animal Crossing, because I haven't played in a while. I'm like, well, I know if I go back, someone I liked moves. So, like, why do I even want to go back? I don't want to ruin that. I want to keep my town as it is. So, I don't really know how they can, like, change that or fix it. Maybe make it so the villagers you talk to more are less likely to move. And maybe they get to a certain... You get to a certain level in your friendship, you know, where, like, if they ever want to move, they will not move until they ask for permission, rather than villagers you hate, hit on the head with a net, or you just never even talk to, they're more likely to just randomly move without your permission. Maybe some along the aspects of that, because I still like the concept of that happening, where you've been a long way enough and your town has actually changed, you know, but I don't like when the villagers you love leave. It sucks, and it's... Like, that's one thing about Tomodachi Life I love, where it's like, you can not play for like 4 years, come back, and nothing has changed. Granted, it's not as immersive as Animal Crossing, but it's really nice, because then you can come back and have zero punishment for not playing as long. And I still think, like I said, Animal Crossing needs some form of it, like the weeds and stuff, the resetti. Like, I like the sense of realism it gives and stuff, but I think just the moving stuff is just a little too high of a bar of punishment, especially for the people you really like. Or even make an ordinance where it's like the nobody moves ordinance. So everyone stays, nobody moves. One thing is, I don't know if I'd actually like that, because I kind of like the villager variety, where every once in a while someone comes in, someone new leaves, and it's like kind of fun to mix and match and play with new personalities. And that's another thing, villager personalities. After playing countless hundreds of hours of Animal Crossing, you can start to see the personalities more than you can see them as characters themselves. Like, oh, this is a jolly character. So you really know, like, all the canned responses that this character is going to have. So I would love to see more diverse personalities. So more than just the initial, I don't know how many there is, like 10 or something like that. But even building upon that, perhaps even subdivisions of those personality types. So, like, let's say, of the jocks, for example. Let's say there's one that's more about heavy powerlifting. Maybe there's one that's more about aerobics. And then maybe there's another one that's more about just, like, doing yoga and stuff. Like, so she's still a jock, but she's not into, like, she's not going to say, oh, you know, I'm going to pack up on carbs today and do my bench press, you know? Because then, basically, if you have a jock villager, every jock villager you talk to in your village, besides their actual, like, voiced, that comes with the animal Lee's voice that comes with it, like sounding a different pitch or having a different catchphrase, their responses are going to be exactly the same. And I'd like them to be like a little bit more different to add more variety to the cast of characters. Because, like, if you already have, like, certain type of personality in your town, and another character comes in with that same personality, you're less likely to like the new one, or maybe you like new one just because of the visual. Like, really, that's one thing I love about Animal Crossing is the different villagers, and, like, and talking with them, building relationships and friendships with them. But if you get, like, two of the same personality, it's kind of like, well, why do I need the other one? Like, you know, if they're, like, they're the same person, essentially, besides their looks, you know. So I'd love to see a little more diversification there, obviously more different responses, so then, I mean, obviously after playing hundreds of hours, you'll hear every response an animal will have to say, you know. But I'd love to see more, like, unique stuff like that. I loved in Animal Crossing Wild World, I don't know if it did it much in New Leaf, I think it was still available, but didn't happen as often, where villagers would talk to each other, and then you could hop in on their conversations. At least for me, anyways, it didn't happen that frequently in New Leaf. I think it's still there, but I didn't see it as frequently. I'd love to see more interactions like that, like the hide and go seek and the birthday parties where it's like multiple animals and yourself interacting in one group. I think more group activities would be a lot of fun as well, rather than just like, you know, give this person this and then come back to me afterwards type deal, instead of just those chores. I'd love to see more fun stuff like that. I mean, granted, hide and go seek kind of sucked sometimes, especially when you were asked to do it and you just didn't have time to do it. And then you say yes anyways, you want them to get a piss. And then they freaking are so good at hiding, or either that you have way too many trees in your freaking town, so it's impossible to find them. It takes like 5 minutes, the full 5 minutes to finally find freaking Pudgy. Can't stand him. I'm just kidding, I love Pudgy. So, what else? I'm so sorry, guys. I did not realize how long this video has been going on. As you can tell, I'm a very big Animal Crossing fan. Very passionate about that series and those games, and I have tons of ideas, and literally I could keep going on. I still have more ideas I could talk about, like other stuff on Main Street, like the size of the town, which first of all, I'll just say that right now, it should be like way bigger than New Leaf, like maybe 1.5 times bigger than New Leaf, because I always felt like a lot of your ideas were constrained by rivers and stuff, which rivers are fine, don't get me wrong, but I'd love to have a little bit more like control over where I want to place stuff, because sometimes I just felt like it didn't have enough like area to put stuff. I'd also love, like, what if that big cliff on the other side, you could, like, go up there and have another area up there, kind of like how they added the campfire place, maybe. I want more unique areas like the campfire, and, like, a Tortimer Island, and, like, other places you can visit all over the place. And every Animal Crossing games had a different mode of transportation to start the game. Animal Crossing GameCube started with the train, what was the frickin' Wild World? Oh, a taxi. The bus was City Folk, and then the trolley train came back for New Leaf. I would be fine with another train again, don't get me, definitely. But I love, BitBlock actually did a video on this a long time ago, being, what if the idea was hot air balloons, and you could travel across the world through the air? I think it'd be really awesome. I have, like I said, I still have so much more, I could still talk about this, but this video has gone on really long. And it's supposed to be just about E3 2017, this is just about, like, this series in general. So, I'll definitely talk about Animal Crossing more in a future video. I really shouldn't have gone as long as I have. I am, like, sore throat. I have so much more to record. But anyways, guys, yeah, let me know in the comments, do you think we're going to be seeing an Animal Crossing at this year's E3? What do you guys think of my ideas for the series and the game on Nintendo Switch? Are you guys as big as Animal Crossing fans as I am? Because I really hope you are, and I so am praying, because, like, right now my channel is very Nintendo news, with a big pillar of Smash Brothers and Mii Fighters, but also, once Animal Crossing comes out, I plan on doing so much coverage of that game, playing it constantly. Even outside of YouTube, I plan on playing it constantly. I really want to have you guys join me with that experience. So I really hope that, alongside Smash Brothers, I really hope that Animal Crossing can be an existing pillar of this channel for years to come, where I'll be doing videos, like, every few weeks, or every month, like, just like how I do Smash Brothers, like, every other week or whatever. However, I don't know how often I do it, but enough where it's, like, a frequent presence on this channel, and I hope you guys really enjoy that and follow me along with that journey. But yeah, guys, let me know in the comments your ideas, your thoughts. Do you think we'll see it at this year's E3? Will it come out this year, or will it come out the following year? I think, if I had to 100% say, I think we can see it this year. I think we'll see it this year at E3. I have that feeling, but I don't know if it's going to come out. I think we're going to see it how about this? We're going to see the app. They're going to show us about the app and talk about that's release date. But Well, they don't really do app announcements at E3, do they? Okay, well, regardless, we're gonna see the app, and I think that maybe at the end they'll do like an official trailer for Animal Crossing Nintendo Switch, and they'll just say 2018, and then they'll leave it at that. As much as that sucks, I'll be satisfied with that. Honestly, they already have so much coming this year, 100%. But yeah, guys, let me know in the comments all your thoughts. Give this video a huge, awesome like. And if you haven't already, subscribe for freaking tons on Animal Crossing Switch whenever that freaking happens. Like, I kid you not, I cannot wait for an Animal Crossing game. I have been so thirsty for that experience. Like, as you can see, this video is way too long. Like, straight up, this video might be longer than my actual E3 predictions coming later this week. Who knows? But yeah, definitely subscribe for tons on Animal Crossing, Nintendo Switch, and Nintendo's E3 2017 coverage, because I will be in attendance, and I'm going to be doing my absolute best to give you guys so many videos and so much coverage as I possibly can. I'm a little nervous, to be honest, but I'm going to do my best, and hopefully you guys really enjoy it. Again, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. See ya!